Okay, Servas, congratulations for the win. How you subscribe this game in Torun? Please.
I think it was a very tough game, great opponent, very high rhythm of the game. I think they make a lot of shots, in my opinion, but they missed their big guy like we missed our big guy, and I think it was more the shooting kind of game, and we came on top of it because we played hard defense, in my opinion, and I'm happy that we go through third place. It was important for us to win this game for maybe an opportunity to get to third place, and I think we're happy we did it. And a great team effort. That's the only thing I have to say about it.
Okay, thank you very much, Coach. Congratulations for the win. One more. If you analyze the stats, what was the key to success today?
I think first of all, congrats to my players for being there, present. Because sometimes when you are qualified, you don't think too much, and you don't make effort. But we find a way how to keep effort, and we find a way practically, and even to rest some guys who are very important for us in the games before. And not the greatest shooting evening from us, but I think like Servas was defensive-wise present. One team like Torun, who is I think high-scoring team, we limited on 70 points at the end, where it was a great defensive effort. We could find some other solutions, not only shooting, especially now at the end, and good decision-making, and make two good stops, and finally involve ourselves in rebounding. I think rebounding was one of the keys, and finally having more assist and turnovers, what is for us some games pretty variable. So I'm happy for that, and happy for third spot. Honestly, we probably avoid every team. It will be top team further, but we avoid some, I would say, really heavier teams.
Okay, thank you very much. You have some questions for Coach or for Servas?
So, a few more words about your hopes and expectations before next round. Yeah, sure. Of course, you want to win each time, like it is in every sport, but maybe you can just say something more.
Listen, if I know well, it's a draw. Yeah, I think it's gonna depend also. Sometimes you need to have a luck, or you need to provoke luck, however you want to say it. Us, we need to turn to ourselves. We need to also be ready for Belgium League the right way, because last week we choked one game at last second, so that's a bit heavy. A lot of players going to national teams on a break, so that will take away from us real that practicing a rhythm. So okay, but we'll still try in that 8 to 9 days what we have to prepare. I don't know when is the draw, so we'll see.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. All the best.
Let's start the second part of the press conference after the game between Polski Cukier Torun and Filou Oostende in Basketball Champions League. Coach Sebastian Machowski and one of the player, Kit Hornsby. At first, Coach, how you subscribe our performance in the Champions League in this year?
Well, first of all, about this game, I would like to congratulate Coach Darios and his team for today's victory in a game that basically didn't matter to either team. They already qualified, we are already out of the competition, so I guess both teams could also afford to sit their big guys. I don't know exactly the problem with Thompson, but for us, Alada Amino couldn't play. He's still bugged by some back problems, so this was a precautionary measure that he didn't play today. Also, I tried to spread out the playing time, so substituting or coaching not necessarily only by the result, but also to spread the minutes out, and hopefully the accident that Aron Sell had in the second half turns out to be not a problem for the next days or even for the next games. So about this game, I think we played decent defense for most parts. Unfortunately, we did have a problem controlling the rebounds, where even without Thompson, Oostende just had more physicality, more athleticism than us. This explains the huge margin that they won the rebound with, and those second chances I felt really hurt us. So in that situation, it would have helped for us to have Alade, but without him we're just in a bad position when it comes to the rebounding. And at the end, it comes down to the last minute making a couple of shots, which Oostende did and we didn't. So that's the difference right there. Us just scoring 12 points in the fourth quarter didn't help. So unfortunately, to finish the BCL, we couldn't give our fans a victory. We couldn't finish this competition on a high note. But nonetheless, I believe that this was very valuable for us to play all these games, even though mainly I think also based on the injuries we had during this international competition season. The team will benefit a lot from this experience, and hopefully this will show already on Sunday on the next difficult road game at Dąbrowa, and for sure also the week after at the Cup when we're trying to win it in Warsaw. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kate, you are on fire tonight, 21 points, but didn't manage to win the last game in the BCL. How you subscribe our performance in Basketball Champions League?
Coach mentioned, obviously, the Champions League is tough. Even if we had a full roster, it would have still been difficult to win and make the playoffs. And we definitely had some huge injury issues, which certainly affected us in critical moments. But I will say, it was a great experience for me personally. My first time in Europe, I enjoyed playing these big teams and traveling to different places and playing in really competitive environments. And I think I will grow from this, and I hope the team does as well, even though we certainly didn't win as many games as we'd like. But I think since this is the first time we've had a full roster all year, I think going forward we will be better, but we'll certainly learn from these games. Still, of course, wish we won more, but it is what it is.
You have some question for Kit or for Coach Daniel?
Say what can be the biggest lessons for both for you as a coach and for you as a player from whole round of the Basketball Champions League?
I'll say as a player how it's tough to win, how hard it is to win, how a lot of things have to go right, and you have to, defensively, and offensively to win, we have to be together in many ways that we weren't always during this Champions League stint to me. And I learned that. Obviously, being on the losing end more than any of us wanted to be, how hard it is to win and what it takes to win. And going forward, I really do have confidence that we have what it takes.
I already mentioned that I believe playing these games is a great experience for the players, but also for me as a coach, because you do coach and you do play against the best teams and coaches from other leagues. I mean, just to mention, Sassari is the second best team in Italy right now. Teams like Ankara or Manresa will also play a good role in their leagues. Teams like Strasbourg, Lietkabelis, second team in Lithuania. So not an easy group to compete in. And we came close also in some of the games that we lost. So learning from those experiences, putting yourself in a position to understand how to do a better job afterwards, analyzing why we lost the game, is definitely the learning process that is also important for me as a coach. I've already had a few seasons with my German teams in international competition in the FIBA Europe Cup and also in Euro Cup. So I know that this is very valuable and I cherish these opportunities very much. Unfortunately, and I've mentioned this before, the injuries hurt us a lot. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, 14 days ago, we only had 7 players in practice. So here we are again, struggling every game, every day with a different lineup, not being in a position to also strengthen this roster when we lost Damian Kulik for several weeks, twice, not to mention Karol Gruszecki, who already missed half the season and is still struggling to find his role in this team. So these challenges really pose to be very tricky for us right now to solve all that, to put everything in place. I think it's also definitely a learning process for this club. First time in this competition, also to understand that with definitely one of the smallest budgets in this competition, it's not easy to survive or even to set the goal to accomplish reaching the second round. So I guess everybody benefited from this, and now it's up to us as a coach, as players, and also as a club to draw the right conclusions for the future.
Will we see him on Sunday?
I said it's a precautionary measure. I think if this were a final today, he would have played. I don't know how well, but you've seen him before his injury when he basically single-handedly beat Lublin with his double-double and helped us to win that game. And you've also seen him play when he could hardly move and trying to still play against Anwil where he could barely walk straight. So I wish that he recovers quickly. I can say that this right now is just a small muscle strain, and I am definitely thinking that he will play on Sunday at Dąbrowa.
Next weekend is time for Polish National Cup, so even if it's the end of Basketball Champions League, the frequency of the games will be still high. It's also after finishing the National Cup, some players will go play in the national teams.
Yeah, I mean the cup is for sure a highlight after the difficult road game that we're intending to win in Dąbrowa. Right now we only know that we will play Arka Gdynia on Friday, so we will do everything to be well prepared, and then we see if we have a chance to fight for the title if we beat Arka. So now is the moment, now is the time for us to really put the focus in place to understand what we're playing for. And that's going to be the first title to compete for next weekend in Warsaw. But also after the national team break, where a few players will definitely enjoy a few days rest. You're right. We'll also play several weeks where we play 2 Polish league games in 1 week. So the schedule, the frequency of games will still be high, and hopefully this will lead to a very good placement before the playoffs, hopefully with home court advantage. And but this is very much forward thinking. Now we have to concentrate on this task at hand.
Okay, thank you very much for this experience in the BCL, and especially for Yuki. Shot in qualification.
Thanks. You get to keep the shirt.